As explained in the previous video, anxiety is amplified by a negative use of our imagination. We imagine worst-case scenarios, we can imagine what people might be saying about us, and we imagine things to be worse than they really are in reality. So, a way to manage anxiety is grounding. Now, I'm a big fan of having clear definitions of words in the English language, and I just so happen to have the definition of grounded right here. To be grounded means to be mentally and emotionally balanced, to have a peaceful, practical, or realistic outlook. So, how can we develop these qualities? How can we balance ourselves mentally and emotionally? How can we develop a peaceful, practical, and realistic outlook? Well, there are things we can do to calm our mind and our emotions. One being 6-6 breathing, which I have as an audio download in the shop section of this website. This is essentially slowing down your breathing to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest mode. It's the mode of being that says everything is safe right now. There's no need to run or fight. We can just rest and recuperate. By breathing long, slow breaths, we let the body and mind balance, settle down, calm down, and find stillness. Another great way to ground yourself is by taking off your shoes and socks and placing your bare feet on the ground, preferably in a grassy area, or really just connecting with the earth. Even on concrete is fine, to activate the nerve endings in your feet brings you into connection with the earth itself. And science shows this does have positive effects on our well-being when done regularly. And it doesn't have to be for long. 30 seconds is better than nothing, and a few times a week, if you can take a couple of minutes out of your day just to stand outside, maybe in your garden, without any shoes and socks, and feel your feet connected to the earth. You could imagine this like our body is a bathtub being filled up with daily life, with stress, with activity, with all these things going on, stimulation, being filled up right to the brim, and somebody pulls the plug and it all just sinks away, filters away. That's kind of what happens when you connect your feet with the earth. The earth sucks out all of that electrical charge and absorbs it. Doing this a few times a week can help you sleep better, help you think clearer, and improve your immune system. It just has knock-on effects for your overall well-being. Another really easy way to think clearer and more realistically is the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, which is simply to name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. It doesn't necessarily have to be in that order, but simply bringing your attention to the present moment of what is really going on around you and within you, you can get a better distinction between what is real, between what is actually happening, and that which is imagined. So simply naming the plant pot, the yoga mat, the lights, the trees, the weights. I bring my attention to reality. It gets me out of my head, out of my imagination, and into my current experience on this earth. This becomes more and more subtle and nuanced the further down the chain you go. So when I start to name things I can hear, I have to stretch my attention a little further outside the window. I can hear the cars. I can hear the sound of my voice echoing. I can hear a faint hum of the air conditioning, and so on. And then we start to bring it maybe to the body. I can feel my back against the chair. I can feel the laptop resting against my legs. And I can feel the warmth of my feet in my shoes. Then we go to smell, which often can be very subtle. I can just about smell some air cleaner, some diffuser faintly in the room. And to be honest, I'm not sure what else I can smell, but that's okay. As long as I'm bringing my attention to my current senses, it's going to do the trick. Now, when we look again at that definition of grounded, it specifically said being grounded is having a realistic outlook. So when we experience anxiety, our negative imagination is amplifying the negative experience. We are imagining worst case scenarios and things like that. So if we can just first of all become aware of what our imagination is doing, of what our mind is doing, to just pause for a moment, use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique perhaps to come into this moment, or focusing on the breathing, to come into this moment and then notice what's going on in the mind. What is the brain saying? What images is it creating? Where is my attention going? Is it going out there somewhere, maybe somewhere in the future or in the past? Can we bring it right here into reality? And when we experience anxiety, it's easy to get lost in all or nothing, black or white thinking. You know, it's either absolutely this or it's absolutely that. When we're in that fight or flight mode, it's difficult to see the grey area, the subtleties of life, and perhaps anything good. So challenge your thinking. Ask yourself, is this true? Am I really right about this? How do I know it is true? Just by challenging yourself, it opens a window to new possibilities that actually maybe you don't have all the answers. Maybe your anxiety isn't so fixed and solid and true as you thought it was. So these are very simple things. Breathing, noticing what is going on around you and within you, placing your bare feet on the ground and challenging that negative chattering going on in your mind.